Hello everybody, welcome back to Blues Focus TV for another full-time reaction video. Birmingham City travel to Oakwell today to face a good Barnsley side and were only unfortunately able to pick up 1 point on the road. Could we have picked up all three? Absolutely. We had some fantastic chances, particularly in the second half, courtesy of Scott Hogan and one from Anike. But we weren't able to find the back of the net, unfortunately, in the second period of play, which is a real shame. But a point against Barnsley isn't too bad, I don't think, considering how they played last season, how successful they were last season. By no means am I disappointed by a point. We've obviously got an international break coming up now, so it gives the players plenty of time to rest, to recover, speak about tactics and sort of think how we're going to approach the next few games. So I think it's come at a very good time for the club. We've obviously started with 2 wins, 2 draws and a loss. And I don't think that's too bad at all, to be honest, considering how we tend to start the season. It's always a bit hit and miss, to be honest. But if someone said 8 points out of a possible 15, given the teams we've played, I'm not too bothered by that at all. I think that is a good start. And I think one of the main positives to take from that is we've played really well in every single game. There hasn't been a game yet where I thought we haven't been too good that game. You know, we deserved 0 points or we deserved the 1 point. I think every game we've played in, I think we've been fantastic. And like I said, against Bournemouth, I think we were quite unlucky not to pick up any points, to be honest. But even in that game that we did fail to pick up any at all, I thought we played really well. But the game started quite shakily, I thought. Harley Dean had a bit of a shaky moment heading the ball back to Sarkic. It looked like their attacker was quite close to getting the ball, but Sarkic was able to deal with that. And then only a few minutes later did we see Barnsley get their opening goal of the game. Now, I thought Dean was probably to blame for that goal. I know people have quite mixed opinions on Dean, or at least used to, and I've always been a big supporter of Dean. I think he's a very solid centre-back, a very solid championship centre-back. But I think he was to blame for the first goal today. He almost controlled the ball and tried to get Roberts to almost take it. And it ended in sort of a bit of confusion, a bit of lack of communication, when in reality Dean should have just got clear and dealt with the situation. But not the end of the world, because we were able to score around half an hour later. Now, obviously, Barnsley's goal was fantastic. Came through Callum Styles, a left-footed shot, I believe it was, from outside the box, straight into our top right corner. And what can you do with a strike like that? Sometimes, although we could have dealt with it differently, sometimes you just got to hold your hands up and say that was a fantastic goal. But yeah, our first 20-25 minutes wasn't great. I'm not saying Barnsley were too great for the first 25 minutes, so I don't think neither team played too well. But it didn't take too long for Blues to get back into the game, courtesy of a Djukovic half volley, which was fantastic. And one player I want to particularly mention in the build-up to that goal was Ivan Sunjic. He made a fantastic challenge to lead to a Mark Roberts throw about 10 seconds or so later. And obviously Roberts' resulting throw was cleared, but Ivan Sunjic was able to header it back onto Djuki for him to finish the ball into the back of the net. Now, although Sunjic hasn't necessarily been starting too often this season, that's his second start, I believe. I think after the Luton game and certainly after today, he's certainly proven he needs to be a regular starter in this team. Last season, he wasn't thought of too highly amongst Blues fans, and I think the price we paid for him may have factored into some people's opinions about him. But certainly this season, he's proving he needs to start week in, week out, and we saw that last week against Luton, and we've certainly seen it this week today against Barnsley. I think he was my man of the match for me, not only because of how heavily he contributed to the goal. Like I said, he obviously won the challenge to result into the throw-in and then got the assist after that. But he did make more and more and more important challenges today. And I think he's going to be crucial for Lee Bowyer this season. But it was a nicely taken finish by Djuki anyway. He used his strength fantastically, as Djuki always does, and was able to find the bottom right-hand corner of the goal. So absolutely over the moon about that. And it's great for Djuki to open his account for the season. I'm sure he wouldn't have wanted to go into the international break not having found the back of the net. So for him to score just before that happens is absolutely fantastic. But second half wise, we got off to a really good start again. We had an opportunity within the first 60 seconds, I'd say. Pedersen header was saved, and then I believe it was Hogan couldn't quite get to the rebound. I think he slipped, but it certainly showed what we were about and what we were going to bring to the second half. And that we did. Chances just came and came and came, and a lot of them we should have taken advantage of. And unfortunately, we weren't able to, which is a real shame because, like I said, we could have easily walked away with 3 points today. We had a chance down the left-hand side from Bayer. Ball was crossed into the box, and it was onto Hogan's head, and he headed wide. And it's a real shame because that's an opportunity, as the commentator said, that Hogan thrives on balls into the box like that. And at the absolute minimum, he should have got it on target. It looked like he tried to header it to the left-hand side of the goal, when easily he should have used the right of his head to header it to the right of the goal. And it sounds obvious, but I think when you're an experienced player like Hogan is, he's got to be able to react and understand and know what he has to do next. And he's hit it with the wrong part of his head. It's as simple as that. But he then had another one-on-one opportunity. Not too later on after that, and he just wasn't able to convert. It was a good save by the keeper, don't get me wrong, but when you're a striker, that's your bread and butter, one-on-ones, and 90% of the time, one-on-one situations, the striker's got to win them. He's just got to win them. If it's a dink over the keeper, if it's dribbling past the keeper, whatever, he's just got to score, and he didn't today. And it's a shame for him because he's just come off a fantastic performance against Luton, bagging 2 goals, but today he just wasn't able to find his shooting boots, and you saw when he came off today, he looked absolutely devastated. I can see why, because when you're going into a little break low on confidence, like he probably will be now, regardless of what happened last weekend, it is a real shame for him. But we pressed on, and Anike came on for Hogan not too long after his second miss and had an opportunity for himself. It was a bit of a goal line scramble, really. It came off the post, then the keeper, and Anike did hit over from about 2 yards out. He was stretching, so not easy for Anike before, but every time I've seen Anike come off the bench, he seems to have at least one opportunity or creates one opportunity for himself. And I've been impressed every time I've watched him, to be honest. So I think Anike needs to be not starting. I'm not saying he should necessarily be starting, but when we do need a striker to come on the pitch, he certainly needs to be in favour of Lecco, because he does seem to get himself into good positions and does look like he's potentially going to bag his second goal of the season very soon. And yeah, obviously after that we just saw the game out. Not too many chances from Barnsley today. They didn't bother Sarkic too much in goal, but it was just a nice steady performance, and I think Blues fans can certainly be happy and content going into this international break. Now, after the break, we've got not Barnsley again. We've got Derby. So we've got Derby at home. I believe that is on Friday night. So that'll be a fantastic game. They've obviously just come off the back of a 1-1 draw today at Nottingham Forest, or against Nottingham Forest, and not a bad result for them. But I think certainly if we want to be pushing this season for either a mid-table or top half finish, or even a playoff finish, we've got to be beating teams like Derby. They've had a very good start, but the sort of state of their current squad and the sort of mess they're in, it's got to be a win for me. I think they've had 1 win, 3 draws and a loss. I might be wrong on that, but just from the top of my head, I believe that's the start they've gotten off to. So not bad. But if we want to show what we're about this season, we need to be beating Derby. So that's about it. So thank you very much for watching. Leave your comments and your opinions on today's game. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Keep right on.